Hello everyone, how are you all? This is Megan. Thank you for joining me today. Today I am going to show you all how to use Showbie. This is the second video I have uploaded on Showbie. The first video was how to create an account with Showbie, which I had created originally for my own students to show them how to log on, but it might be helpful for you. This video today is, once we have our accounts, how can we use Showbie in the classroom? First and foremost, I am using Showbie as a method of sharing files with students that maybe might be too big to email to them. And it's a very simple way for them to access that material. So let's say you wanted to share your PowerPoint with them, or an audio, or a video, or a YouTube clip, or a worksheet, or a QQI worksheet, or the portfolio. Showbie is a way that you can share all of your resources with your students for free up to a point, and that they can then easily access it. The only thing that they need to access it is a code that you give them. So that is what Showbie is. Let's look at how we can use it. So I start by using Google. It's the first one here. Top right, sign in. I'm going to click sign in. And this is what my account looks like. Okay, so as you can see here, I have 59 assignments on my page. And these are all of my classes. Okay, now these are all of my live classes, but I have created a class for the purpose of this video. It's called English class. And I have 2 lessons in that class, Monday the 30th of March and Wednesday the 1st of April. So let's click on the first lesson and see what's in there. Okay, so the students who are in this class will all be listed here. Now, as you can see, there are 4 different Meg Gallons in this class, so I wonder who she is. She's very keen. She has 4 different accounts. Okay, no, I created 4 different personas, I suppose, for this particular lesson, so that I could show you how to use Showbie instead of actually showing you my actual classes, for obviously the fear of divulging student names or anything like that. So I'm using this, I suppose, dummy class to show you how to use it. Okay, so click on shared items. That's this lesson. And these are the resources that I have uploaded to this particular lesson, which was on Monday the 30th of March. This is the instructions that I have left the students, and these are the resources. So they'll read the instructions and then they'll be able to do the accompanying worksheets. Okay, so let's have a look. This particular lesson was on descriptive vocabulary to describe yourself. So you click on this and you can see the worksheet. Now this is just a reference sheet with the vocabulary on it for the students. But if they wanted to download that onto their own computer, they can click the arrow at the bottom right of the page. And this has now downloaded it onto their computer, which they then can click and open. Now, this is just a reference sheet, so there is nothing that the students have to do for this sheet. But I will show you, now I am finished, I will click done. But I will show you, let's say there was a worksheet that I wanted them to complete. Let's see, writing LO1. Let's click on that. So this is for writing 1. Now, let's say I want them to complete this for their portfolio. Okay. And they are completing this for their portfolio. Well, Meg Gallon will come along and she will write her information here using this toolbar at the top. So as you can see, firstly you have a pen and you can choose whichever color here that you want, or the strength of the font. Then you have another pen and you can choose the color. You have an eraser if you want to erase. This can be quite useful. This is making a note or a comment. So if I click here, I can write a comment. Hi Megan, can you help me with this worksheet, please. So, hi Megan, can you help me with this worksheet, please? And then the student can click save. Now, I can also respond to that by doing the exact same thing, just clicking on this and clicking here and leaving a message. However, let's say I wanted to be a little bit more specific, or I felt that maybe I wanted a non-verbally written approach, and I wanted to actually speak to the students. I can do that as well by clicking on this button. And then I can click anywhere on the page. Now I can leave a voicemail. Okay, so the voicemail is, if I just press this button here, I can now leave a voice note. So I'm just going to press this button. Hi, this is Megan. Thank you for doing this worksheet. On this worksheet, you leave your name, your surname, and your date of birth. And you press stop, and then you click save. Now the student will be able to read that and listen to that back, and then they can leave a message for you. Text box is a similar thing. You're able to actually text on the actual document. So let's say they wanted to answer the question, you just text over the question. So the address, Main Street, Dundalk. Now, if you think that this is a little bit too small, you can click the magnifying glass to make it bigger. Okay, and now that I have that done, I can move it. I'm going to move it to here. Make it a bit smaller, and then I can move it to here. So if I take it away, then you can see that I have written directly into that answer. Okay. Done will save it, but before I want to save it, I want to mark it as a portfolio question. So this is a portfolio assignment that I want to put into the student's portfolio folder. So I can click the star, and the star will press the star to add a document to your student's personal portfolio. Okay, so I can click done, and I can add that to their portfolio if I want to. Now, I'm just going to go into Meg Gallen. That's one of my students, and this is Meg Gallen's assignments. So I can have a personal conversation here with Meg Gallen that nobody else can see. Okay, and I can put her worksheets into her portfolio from here as well. So these are her personality words, and if I click this button, that goes straight into her portfolio. What does that mean? Well, that means that if I want to look at her portfolio, anything that you might have maybe liked or think is finished and want to submit for assessment for QQI, you will then have all of that in the one place. You know yourself, there might be one version, there might be two versions, there might be three versions, but when you're happy with the final product, you can click the star and the star will put it directly into the student's portfolio. Okay, so let's have a look. How do I find Meg Gallen's portfolio? Well, I'm going to click students up here and I can search Meg Gallen. Now, this is the first Meg Gallen. This Meg Gallen has actually got 3 items in her portfolio, so I can click on that, and these are her 3 items in the portfolio. Okay, so these are the items that you have finished, you're happy with, and they're the items that you want that student then to maybe download or to print off for their portfolio. Okay, so that's the first thing that I wanted to show you. So let's say, for example, the student has done some work on this. Okay, so write the words under the pictures. Now, because this is in her portfolio, you can't do anything to it because it's the final product. Okay, but if we go back into that group, then, that class, then we can interact with her, we can talk to her, we can leave messages for her, and yeah, let's go back into personality words because that was also in her portfolio. Okay, and we can leave messages for her, which we can then download. Okay, so let's have a look at writing 1. So she had left some messages here under writing 1. Okay, she had left me a note, I had written her a note, and she had written Main Street Dundalk. Okay, so let's leave some more notes. Well, her name is Megan. Okay, I can make this smaller, and I can move this to sit directly on the space that I want it to sit on. If I ask it very nicely. And there it is. Okay, so I can move it right there to sit on the dots. Okay, and then I can put gallon here as well. And again, if I ask it very nicely, I can move it to sit on the dots. Well, I have to minimize it first. And then I can move it to sit it on the dots. Okay, now, so this is the work that the student has done. Okay, so I'm going to click done. Or this is the work that you have edited as well. As you can see, the little circle will come up if you have corrected it. So the circle means that you have corrected it. But there will be a paper clip on it which will show that the student has done work. Okay, so I'm going to click into this now, and I can download this as it is. So you see, I can download as a PDF, or I can download a Word document. I'm going to download the PDF because the PDF here is the work that the student or I have done. In this case, I have done it myself here. So I can click download, include my feedback. If the student has written on it, include the student's work, or include the shared instructions. So I want to download all of that. So I'm going to click download. So this is to show you how you can download a worksheet that the student has written on and that I also have written on. Now obviously this is not a real student, so I'm actually just using Showbie with myself to show you how to use it. But where the student have written on it, I have now downloaded as a PDF onto my own computer the QQI worksheet with the student's work and with any work that I might have done myself. And also the comments are here as well. Okay. The comments should come up there as well. Okay. So this is something that you can then print off, or that you could then compile, as I have been compiling in a folder on my computer of my students' work, which then you can decide how you want to submit it yourself for QQI. But I find that that is quite useful if you have the portfolio option, because you can then see exactly what is in that student's portfolio using the star. Other ways to use it, basically the students are interacting with you, you're interacting with them, I suppose it's like Google Docs. If you've ever used Google Docs, you're redrafting and drafting the worksheet until it is what you need it to be for the QQI. So they start drafting, and then you get an email when they've written on it. Then you can add to that, and they get an email when you've written on it. And I suppose you're both editing the one document, and eventually you will get the document that you need for the portfolio. I suppose that's about it, really. It's just a method of collating work, of sharing work easily, very, very easily, because all they need is a code to get into this. And the code is the code that you will give them. So as you can see, for this particular folder, the code was... Okay, sorry, I have to go back out. Okay, for the English class, this is the code. So you give them that code, and then they type in that code whenever they are signing up. And then they will be able to see all of the classes between you and that student. They won't be able to see all of your classes. They can only see this one particular class. So each of my classes have a code. So if I go into each of my different classes, you will see a code for each of them. So for example, this is my business English class, and then there's a code here. This is the class that I created for this video, and then there's a code here. Okay, so guys, that's pretty much it. So let me know if you have any questions or if you want any help with anything, and I can help you out. Okay guys, thanks a million for watching the video. Thank